What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bridging the Geekdom's Free Talk. This is Friday Thoughts, and I'm your host. As this moves around, I'm having a bunch of trouble lately with my my mount here. Hopefully it doesn't move around too much. So what's going on? I apologize. I might have to get a new mount because of the accident that happened on yesterday's stream where it fell in the middle of streaming, but that's what happens whenever you are doing things like this. Anyways, what is going on, everybody? I want to talk about additional photography for the Snyder Cut, or as reported by, I believe, the Hollywood Reporter, the official title is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, first off, what is additional photography? Good question. Thank you for asking. Additional photography is this. It is scenes that were not originally shot that are going to be added into a movie. Now, in Hollywood, that can sometimes be referred to as reshoots, but most of the time when it comes to reshoots are reshooting a scene that was shot originally that they wanted to change and make different for reasons. Maybe they didn't get a shot that they liked. Maybe they thought they could get a better shot. Maybe it will help make the movie or the show flow better. That's essentially what a reshoot is. Additional photography in this case is going to be doing something similar. However, we do know from a lot of what we've heard and has been revealed over the past 3 or 4 months, and plus some, is that Zack Snyder has a vision, an uncompromised vision for what he wanted his Justice League movie and arc to be. And that is what we're getting here. We are getting an uncompromised vision of Zack Snyder's. Now, we have to remember that there's a lot of compromised footage that was shot back in 2016 that obviously he may want to adjust, change, or expand on. That is what this additional photography is going to be doing. It's going to be expanding. It's going to be building on what Zack Snyder has envisioned. It's uncompromised. This is his vision. So what should we expect? Well, one, this additional photography is going to be adding some scenes to help the flow of the story. When you think about it, he originally shot a movie. You can't just take a movie, chop it up into 4 pieces, and throw it on TV and just leave it be. I mean, you could do that, but it wouldn't flow right. You know, scenes that you end on, there needs to be a decent ending or cliffhanger per episode. And that's what part of these additional scenes are going to be. It's going to be expanding on what he has already shot to make a better overall story, cohesive story for the show. Again, it's 4 one-hour episodes, so you're going to have to get a little streamlined and up and down to go through that. What else should we expect? Well, we should also expect some scenes that he was unable to film and put together back in 2016 due to being compromised, due to Jeff Johns and other execs saying, no, we don't want you to do that because that is too scary or too dark for the viewers. Remember, he does have a scary take which could lead to the death of Lois, which drives Superman insane. And we see parts of that in the nightmare sequence in Batman vs. Superman, and that is sort of what we're going to, hopefully, that is what we're going to see played out over the course of not just the Snyder Cut or Zack Snyder's Justice League, but as well as parts 2 and 3, if they come, in depending on what form or fashion that they come. Now, as I've made a couple videos on, the Joker will be included in these additional photography sessions. But what does that mean? Where's Joker fit in? I mean, if you see the 2017 Justice League, you can tell that Joker would not have fit in that at all, with the exception of maybe a moment at the end of the movie when Lex Luthor decides to, hint to the possibility of a league of their own in regards to Deathstroke, Lex Luthor, and so on and so forth. Joker could have fit there, but we do know that that is a scene that was shot by Joss Whedon and was instructed to by Jeff Johns because Jeff Johns was trying to push forward with an Injustice League type of movie or Legion of Doom or what have you. So he was pushing. So that is something that was Joss Whedon. So where could Joker fit? Well, we do know that Zack Snyder had envisioned, and whether he shot some of it or not, rumor has it that some of it was shot originally, that there was going to be an Arkham scene where we see Deathstroke break Lex Luthor out of Arkham, and Joker would be involved in that in some form or fashion, all leading to Ben Affleck's Batman project. We also know that, or it's speculated on, that Joker would be involved in the Nightmare timeline in some form or fashion where Batman has to work with not only Joker but Deathstroke as well in fighting the enemy and army of Apocalypse. Now, if that's the case, we could be getting some footage of some sort in that design. If that's what they're doing, that'd be amazing. If it isn't, it isn't. It's just going to be interesting to see what they do here, especially with the Joker. I caught wind of the Joker being in it a while back. The fact that it's breaking news and people can't believe that it's happening now is a little shocking to me. I thought a lot of people were in the know with that, but it's an amazing piece of news. I'm excited about it. I think a lot of other people should be more excited about it, regardless of what you thought about Suicide Squad in 2016. I think people need to realize that Suicide Squad was also compromised. That was another film that Warner Brothers compromised in regards to the Snyderverse. So we move forward, and we're going to see more Jared Leto giving us a better take and better look at what he was bringing to that character. Now, there was some big news that dropped today that Warner Media has consolidated some of their subsidiaries in a way. The Warner Max subsidiary or production company, what you want to call it, that was going to be specifically working with HBO Max and movies and such, has essentially been eliminated. Now, Warner Max was going to be the production behind Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, all of those projects have moved underneath Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers will be overseeing all film and streaming films and content like that for HBO Max. A lot of people are worried. If you are on Twitter, you're seeing it's like the sky is falling. It's a bunch of Chicken Littles running around saying the sky is falling. And while I was a little concerned myself at first, I saw that and I was like, it's really an interesting move, despite what's going on right now with all the investigations and all the different things that are going on in that regard. It's interesting. Well, I don't want people to fret. I think people need to calm down. Yes, Toby Emmerich is in charge. Toby Emmerich is part of the issue and fault behind some of the bullcrap that has gone on at Warner Brothers. But I think that this isn't going to be a bad thing. The Snyder Cut is being shot. We got Joe Manganiello back as Deathstroke. If you guys saw the League of Legends tournament last night, you would have seen him with his head shaved to a certain point. It's white. He's got the goatee going, looking just like he did as Slade Wilson at the end of Justice League. Maybe they need to, do a little things, dye it a little bit to make it a little more accurate. But Joe Manganiello's back. We got Ray Fisher back. Ben Affleck's back. Amber Heard is back. We know that's happening. The Snyder Cut is moving forward. Additional photography is beginning very soon. So this idea that with the consolidations and everything that's going on over at Warner Media, I don't think you need to fret. I think you need to just be confident. The Snyder Cut is happening. We're getting Zack Snyder's Justice League. uncompromised. No matter, Toby Emmerich has no say right now in what's happening. The money's there. Snyder's moving forward. It's being done. It's coming out in 2021. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, I'm not so much worried about the Snyder Cut, but I'm more worried about the Snyderverse. And I understand that the Snyderverse, by all accounts, from what I've heard, is still moving forward. So you don't have to worry about that. There are plans in place. Am I saying that they are all solidified? No. But they've had discussions. They have plans. They have ideas. They know what they want to do. Things are going just as they want. I hope that this doesn't affect any of that, and I don't think it will. You have to remember the pandemic truly, truly affected a lot of productions in Hollywood. A lot of studios are suffering. They're laying off a lot of people. They lost out on a lot of money. You figure it's been roughly 8 months of no real income, no box office income. Fortunate. I don't want to see people losing their jobs. And I hope when things start to get back under control that those people. But right now, the Snyderverse is more of a sure bet than some of these big blockbuster Hollywood movies. Just like the MCU is a sure bet when it comes to Marvel and Disney. They know that they're going to make more than $500 million, close to $1 billion on most of those movies they make for Marvel. When it comes to the Snyderverse, the Snyder Cut is already successful. I know you're going to hear people all the time talking, other YouTubers and such like that saying, oh, it all depends on as they move their hair, all depends on how successful the Snyder Cut is. And they try to give you a little tea, making like that's a big surprise. Look, the Snyder Cut is successful. And you know how I know? Because it's getting made. The fans have already made it successful. Had it not been a successful movement, Warner Media would not have pushed forward with allowing this to happen. And whether you want to believe the $20, $30 million or the $70 million that they're investing in this getting completed, it's still money that they're saying, you know what, it's successful. They just had a little bit of information drop for HBO Max stating that 8.6 million people, subscribers, not just single people. We're talking about subscribers here, people, specific people, subscribers, logged into HBO Max over the last quarter or month. I think it was a month, actually. 8.6 million users. That is 8.6 million users. For 1 month, I want you to do the math. That is more than enough money for HBO Max to be successful. And when you sit there and think about the grand scheme of things, of them potentially being the ones that gave Snyder 50, 60, 70 million dollars, whatever the number truly is, it is hardly a dent in their wallet in that regard. No, they're not specifically pulling the numbers that Netflix or Disney Plus are right now. But you have to remember, they're still building their content. They're still building up their service. It's getting there. It's exciting. So back to the additional photography. I want to get back to that. As I said, Joe Manganiello back is Deathstroke. We saw it. Collider ran an article saying they had the exclusive that he's back. We all knew. We all could put two and two together when we saw that League of Legends video. He's back as Deathstroke. We knew it was happening. You had to figure if Jared Leto was going to be involved, so would Joe Manganiello. Next up, Jesse Eisenberg. Are we going to see him return? I'm sure we're going to. I'm sure we're going to hear something very soon, if not within the next few minutes. I mean, the last video I did on the Ben Affleck stuff the other day, as I'm doing the video, the news about Joker dropped. So maybe while I'm doing this, we'll hear something about Lex Luthor as well. there's a lot of rumor and speculation that today, or very soon, we're going to hear about Ryan Reynolds being Green Lantern. I don't know what else to do about that. You can believe what you want to believe. You want to believe that Ryan Reynolds is going to be Green Lantern, more power to you. We do know that Zach had stunt people on set. They performed stunts, not on set, but in preparation. There were things set for Green Lantern. There's a video that you can find online of an entire sequence of these stuntmen doing work on the stunts for the movie. One of which was for Green Lantern. They had a whole deal or a whole thing worked out for a Green Lantern and how a Green Lantern would fight. That happened. Snyder had a Green Lantern in 2016. It's hard to believe that at this point he would go back and change the character of the actor that he had in 2016 to Ryan Reynolds. I believe it's Sam Benjamin. I know a lot of people don't want to believe that. I know a lot of people think he was just lying, and then, because he thought that the Snyder Cut would never come, so he just kind of said that just to say, "Oh, look at me." Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was somebody else. But it's not Ryan Reynolds, guys. It's not. And the biggest information with that is Jeff Johns. It's being reported that Jeff Johns and John Berg will not hold any type of producer credit on Zack Snyder's Justice League. And Jeff Johns would hold a producer credit if Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, or version of Green Lantern from 2011, happened to pop up in this movie. Because Jeff Johns is one of the creative minds behind that version of Green Lantern, thus he would have gotten at least an executive producer role on the movie. So it's not happening. See what Jay Roach says real quick. I can't read it. Sorry, buddy. But over interviewed the cop. That is the only way it would make Snyder interesting at this point. If you got pulled over. Oh, nice. Be interesting if I got pulled over, huh? I'm not the only person that does this, Jay. Jeez. Come on now. Honestly, though, it's really, really interesting that people are still believing that Ryan Reynolds is going to be Green Lantern. I don't know what else to say about it. It's not happening. I know today's his birthday. Everybody thinks that there's going to be an announcement today because it's his birthday, but it's not coming. It's not happening. So move on, everyone. Move on. Serious. Move on. Yeah, with that, additional photography, from what I understand, has not technically begun. From what I've heard this past week and the past few weeks, it's been preparation for photography to begin. I think, if I'm not mistaken, within the next week is when camera and footage will begin rolling. I can't say for certain if that is the case. It's just what I've heard. It's possible that they started doing some filming. I know Ray Fisher's got his haircut to look like Victor Stone again. And, Manganiello, Leto. Those are three people specifically that you can see that they've manipulated their style and look for their characters. They normally wouldn't do that if photography wasn't imminent, and it is. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I mean, there's so much going on right now. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on Green Lantern. I mean, is it Ryan Reynolds? Is it not? It's crazy that we're still talking about this after the initial rumor popped up back in June. I heard the initial rumor back in May. Then as time went on, I started to find out that it was all poppycock. And here we sit today, and people are still saying that it's going to happen. So let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about the additional photography. What do you expect? how's this all going to play out? I heard that it could potentially refilm a new ending, or not refilm, but film a new ending to make it a little more close-ended, like a better ending. That way, if they can't continue, there's an ending. I've also heard that it's possible that they're filming a new ending, or the original idea for the ending, that if you saw what the Culture Nerd dropped a couple months ago, kind of opens up a whole can of worms and could be extremely, extremely interesting. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to continue driving here. Got to go pick up my kids. So thanks for watching. And as always, I will talk at all of you later.